Good evening. It's been a sad week this week. I think we all have felt it. Especially, I think it's been hard on Steve and Bo and Miss Presley. They were down here and kind of caught the first wave of the emergency and had to deal with it. I appreciate y'all doing that. Appreciate you being here to do that. Thought about this a lot the last couple of days. Everybody that I've talked to regarding the accident and the Billingsley sisters has said three things, and they all have said them. First of all, they've said they've expressed their grief and their sorrow for that loss, for the accident. How just what a horrible thing to have happened. And then in an almost guilty way, people have said, but you know, it could have been so much worse. And I'm so thankful that it wasn't worse. Because we all know at a different time, a different day, that could have involved many, many more lives than just their two. And then they finally expressed thankfulness that the sisters didn't suffer, that they're home in heaven, that they're safe. And then everybody says, isn't it great to be a Christian? And yes, it is. And that's what I wanted to remind you of tonight. When these kind of things happen, there are three things that I always do. I've done it for years. First of all, I turn to John 14:2 and I read that. And he says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it weren't true, I wouldn't have told you so. And I'm going to prepare a place for you. And I get a lot of comfort from that when Jesus says that. And then 1 Corinthians 15:55 that says, death, I have to read it, sorry. Death, where's your sting? Grave, where's your victory? And to me, that is such a triumphant scripture that says God wins. We as God's children win. And no matter how horrible a situation or how big of an accident there is, it's okay. We win. And then the third thing I do, and I really mean this, the third thing I always do is look to you as my Christian family for loving support, for pats on the back, for hugs. For decades, I've looked for that, and it's always been there. Can you imagine going through life without a Christian family like we have? It just wouldn't work. When Emma, my youngest daughter, was about 8 years old, she and a friend got together, and they decided they were going to go to a Christian camp, an athletic camp together. There was a camp up close to Branson, Missouri, and we didn't know a whole lot about it, but she was really excited about it, so we let her go. And when we came to pick her up, I could tell immediately she wasn't really okay. She got through the week, and she survived it, but I could tell something wasn't exactly right. So late that night, when I was with her alone, I said, what's going on, Emma? How was the week? How did you enjoy it? She said, Daddy, all my life, anywhere I've been, people have known you and Mama. Or they've known Grandmama and Granddaddy. And she said, I'm sorry. I could tell you all about Emma skipping rope, and I'd start crying. I'm sorry I do that. She said, this was the first time in my life that I've been someplace that people didn't know me. I wasn't with family. And what she was expressing is, I think, what all of us think, which is we love family. And y'all, you know, we're family. And anytime something like this happens, it just reminds me of how important it is for us to be together and to love each other. I love Sunday mornings when we have guests and visitors. And it's so good to see these guests and visitors. But I got to tell you, I love Sunday night and I love Wednesday night. And I look around tonight, I know all y'all. I know every one of you. And it gives you this certain freedom to stand and to talk and to share with each other and just love each other. And that's just so critical for us. I'm sorry this happened this week. I'm sorry we've all had to deal with the pain and the loss of it. But I'm glad that we can share it as a family and support each other. What a wonderful thing. So anyway, my message tonight is just brief, and it's this. Let's value each other, and let's never take each other for granted, and know how important it is to love each other and to support each other, not just in times like this, but all the time. If any of you have any need for anything at all, we ask you to come tonight while we stand and sing.